best we could do. And, you know, his country's at war, so people are siding with the country at war. But make no mistake, I won that fight in my opinion.
It is just so embarrassing when fighters just don't handle losses well. Like, I'm sure Tyson Fury was wobbling around the ring because of the war in Ukraine right now. Guys, last night was the boxing match between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. I had talked about this fight. I had been excited for this fight. I think most people have been looking for a heavyweight unification belt for quite a long time. Whether it was Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, whether it was Fury and Joshua, now Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury, I did believe that these were two of the best heavyweights in the world right now fighting each other. And I got some things right, got some things wrong. I predicted Fury, so I got that wrong. I mean, we talked about some things that we thought were going to happen. I want to say first off, before I get into the actual fight and how I scored it, I want to say that I think both fighters actually should not be embarrassed with his performance. I think Fury did a lot better than some people gave him, and I think Usyk did better than a lot of people give him. It was a very close fight at the end of the day. I know it doesn't seem like it, and I will say that there could be an argument to score for Fury. I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think it goes to Usyk, and I think you kind of have to make a lot of stretches and give a lot of benefit of the doubt to give it to Tyson Fury. However, it was still close, and I'm going to get into the judging and why it actually could go to Fury. And before we get into it, guys, I want to remind you guys that the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, guys. We're almost at 13K. You guys have been killing it with the support, guys. Just please the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. But let's get into it, guys. I was very excited for this fight. The last time we had a heavyweight unification belt was back in the 1990s, and this is the first unification belt for the heavyweight division in this 4-belt era. So it was a pretty massive deal, and I was excited because Usyk and Fury are not just, you know, big guys, but they're also super technical, and we saw that in this fight. Let's get into it, guys. The first 3 rounds I thought were razor close. Rounds 1 to 3 I gave to Usyk. I saw some people give round 3 to Fury. I thought maybe if we were going to give a round to Fury out of that 3, would have been the first or something, because that was a very close round and Fury ended it well. However, I already started this fight 3-0 Usyk, and this is what I talked about in my prediction. Usyk is very smart and understands where his strengths lie at being a heavyweight. So what he does is in the beginning, he is very aggressive, trying to bank those early rounds, and in the middle of the fight, we see him slow down a little bit, and then when it gets to the later rounds, when the heavyweight is a little bit more tired, that's when he really puts it on, and that's exactly what we saw Oleksandr Usyk do, because after that, it seemed like he slowed down. Now, I don't want to say this is entirely, oh, Usyk chose to do this. I'm sure also Fury presented some problems that Usyk had to deal with, and Fury was looking very good, and it looked like at this point, wow, Tyson Fury might actually get this done and beat him. And through rounds 4 to 7, it was pretty much all Tyson Fury. But then we get to round 8, and Oleksandr Usyk has a massive comeback, landing some good straight punches on Tyson Fury. But then we get to the big 9th round where Oleksandr Usyk lands a massive left overhand, rocking Tyson Fury and having him absolutely wobbling all over the ring. I mean, I'm surprised he did not hit the canvas. Like, honestly, if I were Tyson Fury, I would have just fell down and gave myself that extra count, just because I thought it was more dangerous just him staying up, walking around with his hands down, you know what I mean? Like, I think you should have probably just dove for the canvas, took that 10 count. But this is a little bit controversial because the referee did stop it and give Tyson Fury a standing 10 count. Now, I don't know, I want to know what you guys think of this, because there is an argument to be said that, look, Tyson Fury didn't hit the canvas, and maybe if Oleksandr Usyk lands a few more punches, maybe he puts Fury out there. And something that's super significant about this is after the 10 count, you know, the round ended because there wasn't enough time, so that could have been 10 extra seconds of Oleksandr Usyk teeing off on Tyson Fury. So I do kind of understand if Usyk does come out and is not happy about this, because yeah, he might have gotten screwed in that situation. Then we get to rounds 10 and 11, and yeah, Usyk is just pouring it on. I'm surprised Fury was able to last that long. However, I do think that Usyk might have gassed himself out in round 9, causing him to slow down in 10 and 11. And in round 12, I actually gave to Tyson Fury. I thought Tyson Fury ended the fight well. I thought he had a good round 12. And we get to the scorecards. It was a split decision. I was a little worried that they would rob it for Tyson Fury. They would give it to him, kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. And one judge did. It was 114-113, the popular scorecard I do see. And I think a scorecard that is probably the most reasonable for Fury. I'll end up scoring at 115-112 for Usyk. And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to those early rounds, because I really do think that those 3 rounds were razor close. I feel like you could have gave those rounds to any guy. So with that being said, if you do give all 3 rounds to Fury, which I think is a bit of a stretch, yeah, you could argue Fury wins that fight, and I think that that is the only really argument you could have for Tyson Fury. However, I think the rest of the rounds are pretty clear cut. I mean, I've seen some people disagree about round 12. I think it really comes down to those first 3 rounds, so who you give those first 3 rounds to. And I think if you're going to give Fury all 3 of those rounds, I think that's a massive benefit of the doubt. I mean, if they're 50-50 rounds, it's like saying, oh, I flipped a coin 3 times and got heads 3 times. It doesn't really make sense, and plus I scored those rounds for Usyk. That's just my opinion. I had a 115-112. And my overall thoughts, like I said in the beginning of the video, I thought that both guys did show off pretty good skill, and I don't don't think anybody is walking away from this super embarrassed or like they had a really bad performance or anything like that. I think at the end of the day, both guys really showed up. It was a very close fight, and I just think that Tyson Fury did not perform that night. I think that he was just the worst fighter at that night. Maybe if they have a rematch, maybe it's different. Maybe he adjusts some things. I think the mistake really came from when Usyk slowed down. I think Fury sensed that. I think Fury went a little bit too hard. I think he was throwing a lot of punches, missing a lot of punches too. I think I saw a stat in round 6 that Tyson Fury had outthrown Oleksandr Usyk by like 50 punches or something like that. And he's missing a lot of those punches too, and that's gonna gas you out. And I don't think that he was necessarily so gassed where he couldn't go on, but I definitely do think we noticed a bit of a slowdown. His head movement had slowed down, his power has slowed down, his speed. And I think Usyk just perfectly capitalized on this because Usyk, coming from a smaller weight class, is gonna have that cardio, gonna be able to out-volume a lot of these heavyweights, and that's his biggest strength. And credit to Oleksandr Usyk for really weaponizing that. Now, obviously, let's touch on what I talked about in the beginning of this video, which is Tyson Fury's handling of the loss. They read the scorecards. Usyk gives a lot of respect to Fury, and then they give the microphone to Tyson Fury, and look, he says that he won the fight, which I don't disagree with. Look, if he wants to say that he won the fight, that's his own opinion, but this part was now where you lost me. Saying that he lost this fight because there's a war in Ukraine, and of course they're gonna give it to the guy that's coming from a country of war. Like, what are we talking about here, Tyson Fury? But I do want to say, look, at the end of the day, the guy did get hit a bunch of times in that fight. He is coming concussed. This is his first loss ever. I'm sure the emotions are so high. So I do want to say, maybe we should not put so much judgment on Tyson Fury because, look, it was a very, fast thing where, like, yeah, you just lost. You have all these emotions coming up. You don't know. For all you know, you could have won the fight. So you don't want to say, oh, yeah, I lost the fight. Maybe you do feel like you won the fight and want to watch it back. In my opinion, I think the best thing he could have said was say, oh, yeah, Usyk was the better guy. And, yeah, maybe I won the fight. I got to go look back and watch the tape, but I want a rematch. I think I know how to beat him now. I know some of the mistakes I made, and I'm going to come back better. And that's just an honest, fair answer. I mean, nobody would disagree with that. And I think there would be a lot less people clowning on him if he handled the loss a little bit better, especially after criticizing a whole lot of guys for not handling loss as well. He did seem a little bit better in the post-fight presser, so like I said, maybe it was a situation where emotions were all high, but overall, the rematch is most likely happening. This month of October is being thrown left and right, so I assume that there is some sort of legitimacy and some sort of truth to this, assuming both fighters are going to be healthy by then. I mean, I did hear Usyk maybe broke his jaw. I don't know if that's true, though. But if both guys are healthy, which I think is possible, seeing what is it, May now? That's 6 months away. I think that is totally reasonable for both of these guys to get back in shape and fight each other and make the right adjustments. I think if I'm Tyson Fury, I think he's got to pace himself a little bit better. I think he's got to push forward. I mean, it's hard when Usyk is constantly in your face just throwing punches. I think that Tyson Fury did have a handling on his timing. I think he's got to increase his cardio a little bit, really work on that. And I think he also has to work on clinching with Usyk. I was disappointed. I thought he would try to clinch a little bit more and not let Usyk get so close, but instead, for some reason, he was moving his head, swinging in the pocket. It was a little bit confusing. I don't know, guys. That was just my opinion. I think if he would have clinched him, he would have gotten more breaks even for himself and not missed so many punches. Obviously, you're going to gas out if you're going to just fool around and rope-a-dope on the ropes against a guy like Oleksandr Usyk, who is a really good fighter and proved it last night. And don't make fun of Tyson Fury, guys. I see people posting pictures and this and that. Tyson Fury had 35 boxing matches before he even experienced a loss. He has fought some of the best guys. The Deontay Wilder trilogy is going to go down as one of the more classic trilogies in heavyweight boxing. I know a lot of people are annoyed because they felt like he was ducking Usyk for a long time, but guys, at the end of the day, the guy lost. Respect to Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk for getting in there, and I'll respect you even more if you guys click on my last video where I talked about who is the best UFC champion right now. I did a tournament bracket, did a little bit of a different style video to decide who is the best champion. Go check it out, guys. It's on the screen. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys could just hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. You guys are the best fan base in MMA, and I'll see you guys in the next one.